right. Welcome to the fifth episode of Usapang Kolsener. My name is Neil, and I'm currently working as the operations manager. And here with me are Chris and Brian.
Yeah. KR. Actually, I am part of where Neil is working also. So I am a compliance officer working for 5 years in that same company. Brian also wants to say something.
Yeah, Brian. I used to work with these two people here, and now I'm currently working remotely as a virtual assistant slash customer service associate.
Yeah.
All right, and on this podcast, we aim to help people who are interested in the contact center industry and those who have just started their journey and would like to have a career as a professional contact center staff. But we are no experts, but we have experiences to share with you guys. And just a disclaimer, the views and opinions expressed by the host did not necessarily state or reflect those of the company mentioned and its management.
Correct.
Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guest did not reflect of the host, the show, and the management.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, let me have the privilege to introduce our guest for tonight. So, well, she's so well versed when it comes to this industry, contact center. She's been around for a while now. She's smart and witty. A mother of three. So
Beautiful.
help me. She's beautiful as well. And help me welcome Miss Mellany Cenita.
Hi,
Hi, Miss
Hi,
Mel.
Miss
Hi!
Mel, how are you?
I'm alive.
Yay! That makes the four of us.
Yes.
Surviving.
Anyway, Miss
Anyway,
Mel, this is our podcast, and this is what we call talk with the boss, talk with the
yep.
CEO. So
Huh?
CEO. So we
Di
just
ba
want to hear.
CEO ka?
Well, yeah. So I own the a small company like a small contact center, but I just don't consider myself CEO really. I mean, it's the
Okay.
same
Very
thing.
humble.
We're working. Yeah.
Yeah, we will get back to that
We get
later. Let us just catch you up. In our last episode, the fourth episode, actually I was their first guest. So this podcast started with only KR and Brian and Junie, and then they just decided to let me join the group, and then here I am right now. So episode four, a talk with the boss. So I just shared my experience, like from how did I climb the hierarchy, and gave some tips. So yung episode four, to sum it up, from agent to TL to OM, and now that we have you, we are so lucky. Like
Yeah.
from a an OM to a company owner, right? So yeah, welcome to our podcast, and this will be uploaded on our social media accounts: YouTube, Spotify, Facebook,
look.
with our 44,000 subscribers. So
Million,
Really?
million, million.
Million?
Yes.
million, yeah.
Right. You should have warned me, right? I should have had, wear some makeups and so on. So this is going to be broadcasted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you look fine.
Like,
You
oh my
look
God.
beautiful
Okay.
still. Yeah.
So, Miss Mel,
Okay,
can can
game.
you can you please tell me something about what is happening to you when you entered the BPO life? Started from from your younger days up to today that
Still
you
young.
are. We can say that she's successful in this industry, right? So, can you tell us something about yourself,
So
your
from
branding?
okay. So really from my younger days, so you're really emphasizing that I'm too old now.
No.
Kidding, kidding. Okay,
Sorry.
so I started joining BPO industry way back August 3rd, 2006 to be exact.
Wow, that's so exactly.
Yeah, so I was 26 years old back then. So I started as an agent, and then I was assigned in a banking vertical account. I'm not sure if you guys are very familiar with some banks in the U.S., but it
Yeah.
was first the Washington Mutual Bank, and then that account actually got not pulled out, but it was bought by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank.
Mm.
So and then so I was a telephone banker back then. So I lasted as a banker or a telephone banker for 2 years, and then I got promoted in the same account as a peer coach. So I was a peer coach for like a year and a half, and I got promoted as a unit manager or a team leader. So I was a team leader for hold on, 4 5 years.
Along.
Yeah. So I think, and then became an operations manager OIC, and then in the same account. So I was just in the same account in the same company for 10 freaking years in the BPO industry.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So and then so things happened. We decided to move here in Tagum City, and then I applied as an operations manager and in one of the call center here in Tagum. So so it was kind of different and a challenging role because the how I call it, like the role is very different from TL post, like a team leader post before. So I had to, talk to clients and manage a team, manage leaders and so on. So, but it was very challenging, and I had fun too doing it. But I was so grateful that I had the opportunity of becoming a leader,
Mm.
and it was also it's just worth it. Like, I've been in the BPO industry in total, like, close to 20 years, I think, because
Oh.
like I was an operations manager in Tagum City for like 2 years or so, and then after that, after my journey as an operations manager, I decided to venture to a different to a different line of business. If I can remember, um, I open up a how you call it, like a daycare center, sort of. So,
Really?
but for some reason, it's like God really lead me to the direction of um, I'm not sure, but really my passion is really in the call center industry, because I tried the best that I can to like switch to a different line of business, but I always got back to the path of going back to call center. So I started doing like a home base home base work. So I applied to different clients. So I look for clients. I had a lot of experiences of doing same call center job, like doing cold callings, everything like a VA, and so on, until finally I started having my own team. And luckily, uh, I met an investor, or not just an investor, but a partner in Canada, and he wants to have someone in the Philippines to build a call center, and that's when I started. And it was 2019. So we started having um, like 5 agents. So I
Hmm.
had him. So I mean, I had this partner. We had 5 agents until we grow, but and unfortunately with business with him is not that productive for some reason. We had some challenges looking for talents, and we
Yeah.
had some challenges people that are working at home because they don't have generator and everything. So
Yeah.
then I started putting up my own office. So because I save money and so on with that home base job. So I saved, and then I created my own team. So I started having like 10 agents.
That's
And
it.
yeah, so God was so generous to me, really. So I was blessed.
Yeah.
Um, and my team grow. And right now, from that 10 head counts, I have like around 78 now, close to 80. And then
Wow.
we're having more.
Really?
But it's
Congratulations, Miss Mel.
still, thank you. But it's still not that big. We're still small, but we're surviving. And it was a great journey.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
amazing, right? Like you jumped to a different line of business, and then
Yeah, true.
it still brought you back to your passion. And right now, you are like managing a lot of people, employees. Like, how amazing is that? And you've been through a lot of transition from being like an agent, and then you became team leader to a manager, and now you're the owner of your own call center. I'm just curious, like, um, you've lasted like 10 years, right?
20 years.
With the first BPO that where you
Ah,
landed to. Like, what made you last that long, Miss Mel?
That's a good question, Bri. It's like I really had fun working in a call center for some reason. I started being, a very shy girl back then. It's like I couldn't, I couldn't stay in a crowd. Like for me, 10 people is a crowd. Like I'm just not used to it. But when I started joining BPO, it's like, oh my God, this is the real
Yeah.
world, and I like it really. I couldn't even mention any green words before, but when I was exposed to these people, like all type of people, like regardless of gender and so on,
Yeah.
and then it's just I just fun. It's a I just found um different kind of people, and I like it, and I am a risk taker. I always found myself really in a challenging situation, and I don't know, it's like I just in my entire life I always see myself taking risk. And yeah, so I'm a risk taker really, and I love challenges and all that stuff. Especially when I became a, I call it like a team leader before. There were a lot of challenges, a lot of grillings, like a lot of pressure and so on. And you guys are in the call center world too. It's like pressure is like we face that every day. It's so
Yeah.
dynamic, like changes are happening like almost every day, and we just
Yep.
like it. Like we just like to be, with a lot of people. Maybe it's like I'm a people person,
yeah.
and maybe that's the reason why I stayed long because I
Yeah.
just love to see people every day.
It's not just the amount of money that you earn, but the people that surrounds you. Like it's really fun. Like some other people, they lasted like for about 3 or 4 or more years because of financial necessity. But it's just amazing that you lasted that long because you had fun. And yeah, that's one of the common reason that like agents are able to last that long in BPO because of the people that surrounds them.
So I just want to have a question, Miss, because I count on the years that you've been working in BPO. You've been working
Yep.
in BPO for 20 years. After graduation, Miss Mel, nag call center na po kayo agad.
No, no. I started working in an office. It's like the first job that I landed was a clerk in
Mm.
Becco. That's a electric company in Cebu, beside
Oh.
an electric company.
So
Yeah. So
transition
oh
sa
yeah,
call center po, hindi siya mahirap.
it was hard, especially if we consider the shift time.
Mm.
Mm.
Like because for hold on, 21, 22, 23. Right? So it's like 6 years that I work in an office setup.
Mm.
And so I followed, of course, morning like 8 a.m. to 5,
Your shift.
and then I switched to a call center on my 6th year of working. But the reason behind it's like oh, I mean the main reason why I applied in the call center it's really because of money first
Yeah.
because they offer higher salary.
Yeah.
Well,
And I was
considering that
already
you're
married at that time, so I need money really.
really,
Yeah, considering with that kind of accent, you should
Yes. Love the accent.
call
I
center.
think I think
Accent.
JP Morgan's agents in JP Morgan's are receiving 25 to 30,000 if I'm not mistaken, or more.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
In
We already had that figure since 2000. Wait, I left there 2016, I think. So it's like 2012.
mm.
Our agents already getting that amount,
Mm,
25.
nice,
JP
nice.
Morgan's has an office here. They are in housing their account
Big.
here, or they are renting centers here in Philippines.
Well, actually, the very first time that JP Morgan hired or outsourced I mean outsourced in the Philippines, they had I mean they use Aegis people support team. And then finally after I can't remember the date, but I think just 2008 or 2009 they built up their own captive site in
Mm.
Cebu.
In Cebu.
Yeah.
I
So
see.
Miss Mel, from Cebu ka, you went to Davao. From Cebu to Davao, or Manila to Cebu to Davao.
Oh, I was born and raised in Cebu, and
Ah,
then I
Cebu.
moved here in Tagum City. Yes, because
Ah,
my
okay.
husband is from here, so I follow my heart. Kidding.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, follow-up question. Since you've been in the industry for 20 years, right? Now, on this podcast, we would like to share our experience to those people who would like to start their career.
Mm.
What are the three attributes or characteristics that a person should have to be a successful one
Yeah.
in this industry?
Yeah,
Wait.
just to add on, Miss Mel, you've been in banking for 2 years as an agent, and then after that, you've been a coach for 1.5 years, and then you've been a team leader for 5 years, and then
Mm,
being a operations manager for JP Morgan's from the rest of the 10 years. So how did you do that? What's your what are the characteristics that you have that made you, let's say, successful?
yeah.
I think you have to be positive at all times. Like you
Mm.
have to be, you know, positive in everything you do, and then You have to be flexible
Mm,
because
important.
whenever you are assigning an account, um, especially in the call center, you will be assigned to different tasks, and you have to be you know flexi. Like you just accept whatever task given to you, and do it the right way, and then be positive that you can do it. I think the third one would be you have to be goal oriented.
Yeah.
Um, like, because if you're not goal oriented, you won't last. It's like, because in the call center industry, it's all about numbers. You really have to hit your target or your goal. Otherwise, you can't stay in an account. I mean, if you're a mediocre, or like if you don't perform, you're you won't last. And it's if also you feel bad when your performance is not good, right? And apart
Right.
from that, you'll be terminated too. I mean, in a big call center setup, you will be evaluated like every freaking month. And
Yes.
if your performance is poor, you will be given a certain warning. So you really have to be good. Um, I'd like to add too. It's like you have to have a good behavior, and you have to have a heart too.
Right.
That the people around you, if you're like in relation to being positive, you have to be positive to other people too, and you have to have a broad mind as well, because people in call center industry, a lot are sarcastic, but in a not really in a I mean, they're being sarcastic sometimes, but they don't actually mean it. It's like they always throw it as a joke, and you just have to be broad minded, and just have fun. And I think if you have the behavior, you'll be okay and you will last. And again, it's really you have to always remember your motivation. What motivates you to work, and that continues you to work. Really, your motivation to work.
And thank you, Miss Philippines. Let's call on Miss Tokyo, Miss China.
Yeah, I
You know,
agreed with what you have mentioned earlier, Miss Mel, that you have to be goal oriented, and you have to maintain a good score, right? No matter how you make your attendance perfect, no matter how early you are um, going to the office, but you still need to maintain a good score in order for you to, survive every month, especially when you are applying in like mainstream companies like
Yeah.
yeah, Teleperformance, VXI. Like, you need to maintain a good score because sometimes there's like weekly evaluation aside from monthly evaluation. So, yep.
Can we can also consider this as a warning to the 78 agents of Miss Mel, to be goal oriented. So if some of their
Well,
agents, maybe, uh may kilala ka ba sa mga agents niya? Right?
wala
You
ka.
can we can share these ideas to them, and serve as a warning, guys. Uh Andyan na kayo, attendance you have a positive attitude, flexibility, you have a good behavior, you are a
yeah,
broad-minded, but at the end
Yeah.
of the day, money matters, goal-oriented.
True.
I
Correct.
agree.
right.
Yeah.
For sure,
For sure, for
mapapanood
sure.
ng mga agents ni Miss Mel din.
So how do you having said all of that, like the four characteristics, and for sure for some people those are like kind of difficult, and you said a while ago that you have to face pressure, right? And to our viewers, this is actually one of the top interview questions. So, how do you handle pressure?
How do I handle pressure? Well, pressure. is like, it's we're facing that every day. It
Yeah.
depends on the work that we have. But again, if you always remember what motivates you to work, no matter how hard the challenges that you're facing, it's like you are still. I mean, you're going to force yourself to do it. But I think it depends on the person. Like I always put passion when I work, because if you don't, you won't have a good result.
Yeah.
And then if you just don't consider pressure uh, like a problem at all. Like for me, it's like you just face the problem, solve it, and then plan for it. Make sure you get a good result.
Mm.
Because if you don't, regardless of if you are in a BPO industry or not, you won't succeed.
Yeah. Passion means aside part of the passion means you must learn your product. I mean, I just want to add something. If you know how to face pressure is really, if you know your product, then kahit ano pa ang iba to sa yung question, what kind of questions the other person on the other line will ask you, you can really answer, even if she's shouting, even if she's crying, you're handling pressure, you can really answer because you're passionate. What I mean is,
Passion to whatever
you
you do. Yeah.
yeah, you passionate means, I mean, sabi ko nga kanina, you uh you've learned, I mean, you properly check what is your product, so you can really. And aside from that, you have also said be positive. So kahit anong pressure mo siguro, Miss Mel, from the years that you're working in in BPO company, positive talaga eh. And I mean, you know your product. So kahit ano siguro iba to
Yeah.
sa'yo, kaya mo.
True. And then just to add, if you feel pressure, I mean, you just have to have focus, really.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
even if your bosses are pressuring you, you have to put more focus on what you're doing, just to get out of that, just to get out of that pressure. And then at the end of the day, your boss is waiting for a good result. So make sure
And
you exceed their expectation, and just don't mind the sermon, the yelling, whatever it is, but just do what needs to be done, and that's what's most important.
yeah,
Just,
and that is where you grow, yeah, from the
Right,
pressure.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so Miss Mel, syempre sa'yo, kaya mo na siya. Let's say step by step, kasi may experience na rin po ako na nasa billing and sales ako. It's an AT&T account. The first live that I handled was, I really remember it because uh, uh, the other person, the person that I've spoken to just yelled at me, and then uh, told me that, where's your supervisor? Give it to me. And then, you know what? Tumaas yung ano ko, lumabas yung soul ko. Then I felt cold. So let's say from the very basic, Miss Mel, what can you advise to the newbies that will handle uh
Irate
program
caller. Oh.
let's say, are we going, is it really possible that we the newbies will enter sales account or billing and sales
Yes,
account?
I think. I
Really?
think so. I think it depends on how you answer the interview questions that's related to
Yep.
sales. But
Mm,
I'm not 100% sure, huh? Because I worked with VXI before. I handled like AT&T as well. AT&T
You.
DirecTV
Mm.
billing and sales, but I didn't have I didn't have experience in sales, but I was still able to um, get into AT&T account.
It would also, depends on the business needs, regardless if you have
Uh,
an experience or not. If the company needs a sales agent,
mhm,
um, and they're kind of, in a hurry, so
Yeah.
they have to create one.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I meant. If you know that the
Mm.
account, if the business is looking for a sales agent, and you're a newbie, and if someone is listening to us, uh, pwede ba nating
Or
ma-advise na pasok ka dyan?
um, it actually, uh, Chris, I've been in the customer service world actually for like for almost, I mean, for the whole, you know, for
Half of your life.
lifespan of, in a, yeah. So I am not into really sales, but when I started having my own business, most of the accounts that I have right now are sales account. It's like not like appointment setting and all this stuff. So it's cold calling.
yeah,
Um, it depends on and I had hired some agents that are really fresh, like call center virgins. So it depends on the personality of the person really. It's not that I'm not advising them to really jump into becoming a sales agent if they're new, but there are really some call center virgins that are capable of doing so, like a little bit of a training, and then setting expectation that every like 8 hours of calling you will be facing like 80% of your customers will shout at you, hang up on
Yeah.
you. But it's we always tell them that it's a number game. The more people you talk, the more chances of getting a sale. So it's like, and then we also remind them, like, do not mind the people that are cursing you, that are shouting at you, because these people are not really your relatives. It's like you don't put emotions on your word. It's And then we always say like, fake it until you make it. It's like,
Yep.
yeah. um I mean, we always remind them that they have a target, whatever. So that's it. We advise them and remind them that just don't get offended when the people are, or when the customers are yelling at them or cursing at them, whatever, because they don't. I mean, these people are not someone they knew. So just don't mind the shouting and the yelling, and then just go search for that customer that will be interested with whatever it is that you're selling, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's what's most
Okay.
important.
So being the attitude that you're being the attitude is your answer. So it is right to say, Miss Mel, that it is right that it is this kind of work should be the is part of the interview work. So they need to choose the proper candidate.
Yes,
Correct. Yeah.
exactly.
yes,
Yeah.
So, to the newbies, if you're afraid, actually, a lot of uh, people are avoiding sales. Um, and
I was one of them before.
yeah,
It's like I felt like I couldn't do it, but when I tried doing cold calling, I just prove it to myself that I can.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Everything can be learned.
everything can be
Yeah.
learned. And I think
so
the most important is just they just have the basic. They have to have good communication skills. They can sustain a conversation. It's like, if the
correct.
conversation is already out of the script, make sure that this person can answer, can
Yeah,
Mm.
sustain.
yeah.
Yeah.
And during the interview process, I think some interviewers will um, like ask questions that's related to customer service and sales, and if they need sales agents, and if the interviewee was able to answer the question that's related to sales, I think they're gonna hire that agent for sales.
Right.
Correct, correct. Yeah, I think they have to, look at the profile of the
Yeah.
candidates and see if they are best fit to
Yes.
be assigned to a sales account.
Yeah.
All right.
So guys, you just have to, finish your resume, submit yourself,
Just apply.
be yourself, apply.
Yes. You know what? I just remember someone from back in the day that I work in that I started working in Sutherland, Davao. I have a colleague there that grew in US. So meaning to say she can really convey straight listen, straight and English. You know what? He didn't last because he doesn't have. I think Miss Mel really answered it very well, that she pointed out that you should have a positive attitude and goal oriented. Yun nga, 'di
Mm.
ba? He grew up in US but he did not last. That is in
Yeah.
sales account, Miss Mela. So
I
yeah,
think that's not his passion at all.
yeah,
I think that happens. It's like there are really some people that if they just don't, it's Chris, sorry, but it always boils down to like um what is your will. Like it's a will issue for me. Like for
yeah,
example, if the person is really not into sales and they just don't like to do it, then that's what happens. Like they won't perform really.
yeah. Let's
Yeah.
jump to another topic because we're talking about your days in as an agent and as a. How about these days, Miss Mel? So how do you handle different kind of attitude? Ay, may mayayabang. Sabi mo nga kanina, you just need to have a good behavior, di ba? And broad-minded.
Yeah.
So how do you handle this kind of things, Miss Mel?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's like people have different characteristics, and it's like you really have to adjust, and you also have to, observe what kind of personality that this person has. And if if you're a leader, you just have to use different type of managerial style to different to different type of personality as well.
Yeah.
So you cannot, for example, you can't be how you call it, like strong enough to people that are weak, and people that are sensitive, sort of. So you have to be, I mean, you really have to adjust to different type of character.
I completely
I
agree.
suppose.
And in our part of job description, we are dealing with these people every day. And then I just would like to get back to what you said earlier about sarcasm. Sometimes it is helpful, very
Sometimes it's
helpful.
not.
Sometimes it's not, because there are people that who could not determine what is sarcasm or not.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Correct.
yeah, dealing with this, dealing with people on daily basis, like you need to be strong. And sometimes I think it just you just need to connect to them genuinely. But then there's a limit to that as well, right, Miss
yeah.
Mel?
Being
Right.
the
And you have to
manager.
have a heart too, like, a heart and passion to your work. Like, if you're a manager, you have to be a good influencer. You just don't,
Yeah.
you know, um, be like a boss. Like before, I always consider a good boss if, I mean, if you influence your people to do the right thing. I mean, that's effective for me. I don't know with you, Neil, because you're a boss too. It's like for me, you have to be a good follower first, and then your people
Yep.
will follow too. Yeah,
Mm,
it's different if you influence them and make them follow with whatever you're doing rather than commanding them, and you know you are so strong in implementing the rule, whatever.
correct.
Most of the time, if you do that, a lot of people will um, complain, whatever, and they talk about you. But if you do good and you follow whatever the rule is, and then show them what's the right thing to do, they will follow you and respect you.
That's what I like about Miss Mel when I was under her management. Yeah, like
Right.
I never had a hard time with Miss Mel before. I never felt that she was like too strict, but she was very approachable, and she knows how to, treat the agents correctly.
Yeah, I
Well, you
actually
were the
look.
agent, Brian, so
Oh
that's
wow.
why.
And I just want to add something. Uh, part of being a leader is dealing with people that is not that obedient, because I'm handling also a micro team, and at first it's really hard to connect with them, because sometimes they felt like uh I
You're
am
Hired.
from
violating
this
the
small company in, how do I say this?
Kind of.
How do you confront that kind of alam mo yung mayabang, and alam mong
Yeah, mayabang.
may pinagmamalaki tong mga to kaya mayabang. How do you confront that, Miss Mel?
Always.
Feeling entitled. Yung entitlement. Yun.
Gusto kong sabihin yan eh, entitled eh, pero parang masyadong mataas. Masyadong mayabang na yan eh. But let's
I think
sige, go.
my ego.
Yun, ma-ego siguro. Pwede. How do you handle that kind of situation, Miss Mel?
um I think the best way to attack, those kind of behavior, Chris, is like use it for use their kayabangan to your advantage. For example, just say for example, he said that I'm really good at this, blah blah blah. Give him a task. Give him a
Uh,
task that he is claiming that he's good at, because you try to boost his confidence with whatever it is that he's claiming, he or she is claiming, and then later on, just and then have that relationship with that person, and later pag nakuha mo na yung loob niya and heart niya, and then he or she is going to start trusting you. Parang you make him feel that you believe in him. You make him feel that you trust him that he can do it. You will become best of friends.
Yeah,
really?
that's awesome. Kasi pag
Awesome.
ganun, pag egoistic yung tao, you don't attack them with yung yung ego mo rin. You need to
True,
meet.
true.
True.
You need to meet in between.
Do not
Mm,
fight fire with fire. Kumbaga.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Okay.
agree. And by the way, guys, masyado mahaba na tayong yung discussion natin.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
having
And
fun.
very
Yeah.
serious. We're very serious. Um, gusto ko lang maisingit. I want to play this
Uh, last part ng
truth
discussion. Last
or
part ng
myth.
discussion.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
pare.
okay.
Yeah, what we mean, Miss Mel, is this is the last part of our podcast, which is the truth or myth. We just want you to answer from your heart. Yeah, the
Yeah.
truth and myth
Yeah,
questions.
this is all about like things around call center. We just
Oh,
want to hear from you if they are, truth or
it's
just a
true
myth.
or just a gossip. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. First one, puyatan sa call center.
True.
Very true.
True.
And
Yeah, of
second
course.
one, working as a call center agent is being a slave.
Me,
slave daw yung
yeah,
mga call center agents. Myth, right? I
yeah.
think we are just the same as other regular employees. Like we're just
Other, yeah,
working, not
other
slaves.
industries.
Yeah.
I mean, it's our choice. I mean, it's our choice. We applied as a call center agent, so and then they set expectation when we applied before we started, right? So we're
Yeah.
not a slave. Yeah,
Na
it
hindi ko
was our
lang
choice.
mag-gets saang part dun yung slave, naging slave yung call center agents.
Now, if you feel that you are becoming a slave, then you move out. Like go somewhere else.
Get away from your masters.
I I think what the question is referring slave from the other people from other country, because instead of them doing that,
Oh, so that's what they meant?
I think
I think
what's the
so.
question meant.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, my answer for that, Bry, is actually we are the the agents are the SMEs of their line. They are the
Subject matter.
subject.
Yeah,
They are the subject matter of what they're
expert. Yeah,
doing.
Yeah. We're here because they need help, right?
Yeah, we know more
We're
than
not
them.
slave.
We're the slave.
Yes. The third question, I mean, the third statement, puro bastos mga nagtatrabaho sa call center. I don't know kung ano yung ibig sabihin niya sa bastos. I think cursing or what? I don't know.
Attitude, attitude.
oh,
It's more
no,
on
it's more like green
let's just
jokes. I
say
think.
It's more on we're open to all.
I'm trying to have it like attitude wise, but if you go for the green, go.
Yeah.
Miss Mel pa.
If,
Papatulang ka nito.
I mean, if you're talking about green jokes and you consider that as bastos, then I think it's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's everywhere
it's everywhere.
naman din, di ba? Yeah.
Everywhere,
Hindi lang
like
naman sa
not
call
even
center.
in a call center. Come on, it's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
pero when you refer to yung cursing, I think hindi mawawala yan eh.
Yeah.
Pero yeah,
um
I think hindi mawawala.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think, and also I think as si Miss Mel na season agent, matagal na sa center, and then she dealt with different kind of bastos na, and she's a smart person. She knows how to handle things na siguro baka
Yeah.
baka
yeah.
sapakin na lang niya bigla to, and then smile. Bastos mo eh. Sumosobra ka
so
na eh.
that's why you have to that's why you have to be you have to be adaptable. Like if
Yeah.
the people around you are these kind of people, then you have to be broad-minded. I mean,
Yeah.
Open-minded.
just yeah, be open-minded too.
Yeah, and if yung ano naman, nire-refer naman ito is parang rude yung mga nasa call center, parang hindi naman.
Rude? I don't think so. I don't think
Hindi
so.
naman, di ba? Yeah.
Um, there might be sometimes that we kind of feel like we always value our right, like our
Mm,
rights as a like how American people value their rights sometimes,
yeah.
and when they shop, for example, call center people, especially in the customer service um, industry, when they go to the mall, for example, and the people are not giving them good customer service,
Yeah.
it's like they felt like it's like they tend to like confront the sales lady
Yeah.
and say something and maybe make comments or whatever. So that makes them rude
Rude.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Sarcastic.
we learned it. Yeah, we learned it from our job din naman.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth,
Is
fourth,
that the last one, or you still
meron
have?
pang dalawa.
Okay, so okay.
This is the fourth one. Bagsakan daw ng mga walang pinag-aralan ang call center.
It's a myth.
It's a myth,
It's a
of
myth.
course. Of course.
Definitely. Because come on, I handled a lot of teams like veteran agents and newbies, and many times I had agents that are cum laude, like you know, professional teachers, licensed teachers, nurse, engineers. Come on, walang pinag-aralan, that's a joke.
Yeah, totally myth.
To me, yeah.
Yeah, fifth and last statement that I got here. Malaki sahod dyan ng call center. Truth or myth?
Well, in general, yes. I mean, if we compare it to just the people that are working on a day shift, like in an office setup, yes, call center
Yes.
offers more.
Yeah, yeah. Call center has like higher salary than regular office
Right.
salary. Well, yeah.
Yep.
And call center also has a promised appraisal, other compared to other businesses.
Yeah, most companies.
Yeah. Yep. So I guess
True.
Miss Mel, this is the last part of our
Yeah.
podcast, which is to say thank you uh,
Thank you so much.
for being very, inaccept nyo agad yung invitation, abrupt
Yeah.
Yeah,
invitation
for
Thank
namin.
you
such a
so.
short
No,
notice.
Yeah, it was really short. Thank you sa ambush, Bry.
that was an ambush.
Ambush
And
tayo,
Actually,
Bry.
we would like you to know that we are going to put it in public in YouTube. And if you have a shout out with your agents, and if you have, if you're looking for, an agent or an account, you can, go ahead and,
Yeah,
you know,
if you would like to promote
promote. You can promote.
your businesses,
Yeah.
right?
businesses.
Go.
I'll try.
Rem-
Yeah,
rem-
so
re-
I'm gonna try to
remember,
follow you guys.
remember, we have 44 million subscribers, Miss Mel.
Yeah.
So
You guys are making a lot of money then.
not yet.
Wow,
King
We
pa.
hope so.
Yeah,
you're getting there.
Miss Mel, we greatly appreciate you for having time with us. Knowing na galing ka pa sa work and I know na inaantok ka na rin. Yeah, we greatly appreciate you, Miss Mel.
All right, so that's it. That's our fifth episode, and we will be uploading this on our social media, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and please watch, subscribe as well, and then see you the next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.